Carrier Dome at Syracuse University, Time Warner Sports presents the Section 3 Class B Football Championship. The J.D. Red Rams at 8-1 and the Ilion Golden Bombers with a 7-2 mark. And welcome inside the Carrier Dome. Glad you could join us for today's matchup between Jamesville Dewitt and Ilion. I'm Beth Mullins along with Dale Drypolter. And Dale, I guess it's only fitting that in this championship match we've got the top two teams in Section 3.
Yeah, and you know what's really interesting is that in talking to some officials and some coaches, a lot of people feel that JD, although they're number 2 seeded, is the team that's going to win. They feel that their running game a little bit too strong for Ilion. But I'll tell you something. Ilion and the teams from Eastern Onondaga County or Eastern Section 3 have a long tradition of doing great here in the Carrier Dome. So I think it's going to be a great matchup. All
right, let's take a look now at the road to the championship for these two clubs and how they did end up in the finals for JD. 8-1 on the season. They're ranked 11th in the state right now. And they defeated Indian River and then cruised past Cortland in their last two games, beating Cortland 47-19 in the semis. And then on the other side, the road for Ilion has also been an impressive one as we take a look at how the Golden Bombers advanced to this particular point in time. And there you see first place in Class B in the East with a 7-2 mark. They defeated Salve, and then they shut out Jordan Elbridge 13-0 in the semis to get to this point. And Dale will be right back with a chat with Bill Brown, the head coach of the second-seeded J.D. Red Rams, when we return to the Carrier Dome.
I'm here with Coach Bill Brown from Jamesville Dewitt, and Coach, it's been quite a season so far. Tell us a little bit about that season.
Well, it's been a great season for us. You know, winning the league championship was our first goal. That happened. Getting back to the Dome was our second goal. Now Section 3 champion. So that's our big goal for today.
Ilion's a good team. What about some things you're going to have to do today to win this game?
Well, they're a very good team, and they haven't gotten the respect that they deserve. We've seen them on film. We saw them last week. They're a very tough, scrappy team. They're very well coached. Some good backs, a quarterback that's playing real well for them, a scrappy defense. The key to the game is I think we've got to play defense. If we can bottle them up and play great defense like we did last week, I think we can be winners today.
You've got some great personnel. Let's talk first about your offensive key.
Well, the keys, we feel the 3 running backs are our keys. Kinsey is the quickest one of them all. He gets the most press. He's a great one, but we feel the other 2 guys are just about as good. Mike Lambert's a great one. Travis Mason's a great one. So we distribute it to all 3 guys. We don't depend on just one.
You stress the defense. Tell us a little bit about inside linebacker Kurt Wolfanger.
Well, Kirk has moved to inside linebacker after about 5 games this year. He's been our leading tackler for 2 years. We've always said he's not big enough to play inside linebacker. But, boy, I'll tell you, he plays a lot bigger than his 160 pounds. And since we've moved him there, it's really solidified our front.
Coach, thanks a lot. Good luck. And Beth will be right back with Ilion's coach right after this.
Welcome back to the Carrier Dome. Bob Turley now with me, the coach for Ilion. And, Coach, tell us a little bit about the year-to-date so far and how the Golden Bombers have progressed.
Well, we had a slow start. We started the year 2-2, and since then we've improved greatly, and we played good defense and had offense when we've needed it.
Tell me a little bit about J.D. This is a team you have not faced yet this year. What's the strategy going in?
Well, we know that they are supposed to be an outstanding football team, and they're the team to beat since day one, I think, in Class B. We've got to play great defense. There's any other way to look at it. We've got to play with our heads and our hearts and just play good, tough football.
And that means a couple of kids that'll play on both sides of the ball. First of all, your quarterback and one of your top defenders, Rocco Tyner.
Well, Rocco's been the heart of our defense. He's a strong safety, and he's got twice as many tackles as the next kid on our depth chart. But he's a great quarterback for us. He's filling in for Jim Lipinski, who broke his collarbone earlier, and he's got to perform today for us to have a chance. Chris Whedon is our tailback, and he's got over 1,200 yards, and he's an outstanding runner. Luke Ertz is our big play receiver. He's got 400 yards and catches this year, so they have to make something happen for us.
All right, thank you very much, and best of luck to you today, Coach.
Thank you.
And we'll be back with the opening kickoff from the Carrier Dome, the Section 3 Class B final coming your way next. Class B Championship. And let's take a look at the officials for today's matchup. And they would be from left to right: Frank Miserelli, Dave Willey, Dave Adams, Bob Allen, and Matt Coppola. In the pinstripes today, the Ilion Golden Bombers in the brown and gold uniforms, the Jamesville Dewitt Red Rams in the white and gray with the red helmets. Ilion, the number 1 seed. JD, the number 2 seed. Charles Haggerty, the junior, will kick it off. Adonis Kinsey back deep, along with number 35, Mike Lambert. A couple of dangerous return men. Tony Brown and Wes Wilbur in front of them, but this will go all the way through to Lambert from the 14 across the 20 and stuck at the 31-yard line. Big hit from Paul Larson. This one gets off with a bang.
You know, I was talking to Bob Turley, the coach of Ilion, and he said one thing we have to do early is go out and hit, and he sure did. Let's take a look at JD.
Jamesville Dewitt's offense: Kelly, Lambert, Kinsey, Mason, Nelson, Polelli. And then up front, Bassett, Rabideau, Hunter, Haley, and Whipple. Hunter replacing Mike Fuller, who is out with a sprained ankle today. I formation behind the quarterback, Chris Kelly, a junior, as Kinsey goes in motion. The pitch goes to Lambert, trying to get to the outside, and does. And loses the football at about the 30-yard line, and Ilion has recovered. Ilion comes up with it on the first possession. Number 6, Derek Richards with the recovery.
Lambert had the outside, but watch what happens. He's got the ball in the right hand, the outside hand, but he brings it back across and takes a hit on the ball from number 2. Tyner hit him, but you're right, it was number 6 who got the ball. Tyner, nice hit, and that's going to set up good field position for Ilion. Let's take a look at it again. Watch the ball get out a little bit out of his hand, and that's Tyner that knocks it loose. And then you can see that Lambert has lost possession. Ilion gets it back, and they fumble the football.
And now the official saying that the Golden Bombers will keep it.
Second down?
Second down and 10 from the 30-yard line of Jamesville Dewitt. Fast and furious start as we take another look at the incompletion.
That was an incompletion, and he fumbled. That looked like a fumble. He never had the ball, so they will call it an incomplete pass.
Tyner has 3 receivers now to the near side. Pump fakes once, now throwing deep for the end zone. Incomplete, overthrowing the intended receiver, David Berth. So that will set up a 3rd and 10 now from the 30. Tyner, Whedon, Berth, Hoffman, Ertz, and Richards, the backs and receivers. The line, Fuhrer, Darrow, Short, Jones, and Kelly up front for the Golden Bombers. Split backfield now behind Tyner, and he redirects Berth to the near side, so the lone setback is Whedon. 3 receivers come right on 3rd and 10. Tyner rolling to the right, has some time, passes away to the end zone, incomplete. Diving attempt made by Justin Hoffman, but he could not hang on. Good coverage on the play from Mike Lambert.
You know, you might have been looking for Whedon. He's a guy who's got so many yards, but they've been throwing the ball, and the coach said they will throw the ball 15 to 20 times a game, and Ilion has come out throwing the football. This one, again, incomplete, but they went for the end zone. Just off the fingertips coverage by Lambert, knocked the ball down, so it's going to be 4th. They've got to get to just the 20-yard line to get the first down.
Rocco Tyner, the senior, taking over for Jim Lupinski midway through the season. Now 4th and 10. Tyner again rolling to the near side. Under some pressure, will not get the pass away and is buried by Bill Phelps. Phelps with the big sack all the way back out to the 37-yard line, and JD will take over.
Phelps helping out his team because that was 4th, and he really shot the gap, got between the guards, and just dropped Tyner for a large loss, and that's going to give JD good field position out on their own about 37-yard line. You see it again as Tyner hit the artificial surface here at the Carrier Dome quite hard.
On 1st and 10, the handoff to Kinsey out across the 45 to about the 46. Stood up about a yard or so shy of the first down marker. Pickup of 9 on the play.
Got a JD player down momentarily. Let's see if they're going to call a timeout.
75 is
Yes.
Paul Haley, who was slow to get up.
Yeah, he's got a left ankle problem. Apparently he's going to go off, but look at the defensive line. Jones, Denicola, Darrow, and Kelly in the 4-3 look. Cabral, the brothers Cabral, and Whedon The big running back also there, Hoffman, Ertz, Tyner, and McCann in the secondary for the Golden Bombers.
Well, this would be a huge blow for Jamesville Dewitt. They are already without their starting center, and now their starting left guard, Paul Haley, trots off to the side, favoring that left ankle. So now on 2nd down and 1 from about the 46-yard line. Handoff. And Travis Mason picks up the first down out to about midfield.
This is a huge offensive line for Jamesville Dewitt. They have one guy at 175 pounds. Most of the other guys well over 200 pounds, and you can see that they created a big hole that time. And JD's name of the game is run the football, and they've got guys who can run the 40 and 4-3, 4-4, and 4-6, and they put them in the same backfield. There's a lot of speed back there. There's Kelly, the quarterback. Doesn't throw all that much.
7 touchdowns on the season for Kelly. The pitch to Kinsey, trying to get around the corner, does so, and is run out of bounds inside the 45-yard line. Looks like the official will spot it right around the 42.
You look at Kinsey averaging almost a first down every time he rushes the football. I did some numbers, Beth, and the first 4 guys for JD average over 8 yards to carry. The rushers, they have a tremendous rushing game. Kinsey's got the speed, and you heard Coach Turley say that they had to contain that speed, and they wanted to hit him hard and him early, and JD's having a little bit of success right now, 2nd and short, as they come up to 43-yard line of Ilion.
2nd down and 3. The pitch goes to Lambert around the right end. He's got the first down inside the 40 and rumbles down to about the 37-yard line. Lambert, Kinsey, and Kelly, all members of a tremendous junior class. As you see Lambert's numbers, he too averaging over 8 yards per carry with 7 touchdowns on the season.
They use those guys well too. That last play was a quick pitch, and it really spreads out a defense when you can pitch the ball and have a guy who can run a 4-4. Now all of a sudden you've got the sideline almost there. So they turned the corner, got the first down. Let's see what they come up with now.
I formation behind Kelly, 1st and 10 from the 37. The handoff goes to Mason, sheds one tackler, nearly gets away from another one, and rumbles his way down to about the 26-yard line and close to another Jamesville Dewitt first down. There you see the 3rd member of the triumvirate in the backfield.
They're doing it just like we wanted them to. Coming up, another guy, 7.3. He's a big guy, 200-pounder plus, and you can tell why Coach Brown wants to talk about all of his guys and not just Kinsey. Kinsey's the guy who he says gets most of the press, but these other guys obviously a big help.
1st and 10 for the Red Rams. Handoff to Kinsey. Good penetration by the Ilion defense, and they are able to get to Adonis Kinsey.
22 and 6 there. That was Larson and number 6, Derek Richards, who stopped that for a short gain.
We should also mention, too, for Ilion, one of their starters, Ryan Day, from the secondary, is suited up, but he is not out there right now. He was injured last week. May see some playing time for Coach Turley, but right now not out on the field. 2nd down. The pitch goes to Kinsey, and again, Ilion is there defensively as they run Kinsey out of bounds at about the 32-yard line. A whole host of tacklers were there, including the Cabral brothers and Chris Whedon. Brad Darrow also in on the stop. And Tyner and Luke Ertz coming up from the secondary. There you see Mike Kelly, number 64, also a member of that gang tackle.
Coach Brown, and Ertz actually was the guy who turned that play in. He came up from the secondary, didn't let him get outside. That's what JD apparently going to stress the boundaries, running to the sidelines with the quick pitches, using that speed to get outside, and they're going to try to put pressure on him. They've got about 5 yards to go for a first.
Check that, actually 3rd and 16 now for JD. Yep. After the 5-yard loss on 1st down. Kinsey in motion. And Kelly setting up the screen pass. Lambert has it and runs out of room on the near sideline. He's taken out at about the 26 or 27. That will be well short of the first down.
Nice play call on 3rd and long. A center screen. It then broke it outside, but watch. 2 shirts from Ilion right here playing a little bit of spy. They're keeping him under control, not letting him outside. Good job. 32. Whedon, the running back, is the guy who forces him out of bounds. I say the running back, he is the main running back for Ilion, but you've got guys going both ways. and he's a guy who plays linebacker. He plays tailback. He's got over 1,200 yards. So this team from Ilion has got some guys who are going to be busy today.
Officials timeout, and now apparently they are set and ready to go. Coach Brown, one of his goals this year was to be playing December 1st here in the Carrier Dome, which would be part of the state championships. And now 4th and 10 for Kelly, rolling to the right. Under pressure from Larson, and Larson battles him up all the way back at the 44-yard line. Loss of about 17 on the play. Ilion will take over on downs.
If you're talking about big plays so far in the game, this guy has made 2 of them, all from the defense. Larson really tracks him down, does not let Kelly go anywhere, and that was a big loss. And as you said, Beth, good field position now for Ilion as Larson, 6'2", 185-pound senior, comes up big defensively for the Golden Bombers.
So now Rocco Tyner and company back on offense. Berth in motion. Handoff goes to Whedon right up the gut. And he gets out across the 45 to about the 46-yard line. Pickup of a couple on the play. It will bring up 2nd down and 8. Haley, Hunter, Bassett, and Phelps, the defensive front for JD. The linebackers, Brown, Wolfhanger, Rabideau, and McBride. And in the secondary, Lambert, Woodall, and Kinsey. And one of the key members there is their inside linebacker, Kirk Wolfhanger, who used to be on the outside, and since moving inside has really made a difference defensively. Handoff again goes to Whedon, and he skirts his way out close to midfield.
JD using a 4-4. You've got 8 guys in the box. It's a good defense to try to stop a running game, and if they have scouted Ilion, and we have said, Ilion is a team that does have a good runner in Whedon. They also throw the ball. They came out throwing, but JD now, when they saw Whedon, they flew to Whedon's side as soon as he got the ball, and that helped stop him before he could get much further. 3rd and about 4.
Just shy of midfield. I formation behind Tyner. Play action. Tyner passes away and caught by Larson at the 40. Fumbles it out of bounds at the 39-yard line, but that will be good for a 1st down for Ilion.
Well, I guess it's only fitting the guy who's making the big plays on defense now turns around and makes one on offense, Beth. JD sent both outside linebackers. They didn't get any under coverage. It's just man on man, and you see Larson had the ball stripped out. I think Kinsey hit him and knocked the ball out, but he made the catch. It went out of bounds. Good play for Ilion. They've got the ball at the JD 40.
1st and 10, Golden Bombers, straight drop. Tyner looking down the far sideline, has a man out there, and caught at the 5 and in for the touchdown, Luke Ertz. 39-yard touchdown strike.
39-yard touchdown pass.
Ilion said they would pass the football 15 to 20 times. They came out throwing. They ran Whedon a couple times. They set up a great play on a long pass to Ertz, and now we're going to look at the PAT. But so far, Ilion doing quite a bit of things right.
Charles Haggerty will attempt the extra point from Rocco Tyner's hold. And the kick is good. 7:29 to go in the 1st quarter. Ilion strikes first. Rocco Tyner to Luke Ertz, 39 yards on the touchdown strike. Ilion up 7-0.
Let's look at the touchdown. Yep. 56 yards in 4 plays, and this is the biggest one. Watch Ertz. He's going to be guarded by number 31, Mark Woodall, the corner. And Woodall turns, but the ball just placed perfectly over Woodall and right into Ertz's arms for the touchdown. And that was culminating that 56-yard drive on this beautiful pass play. JD sent the outside linebackers, just a great placement of the ball. And Ertz in for the touchdown after Tyner, who had been converted from a split end after an injury to their main quarterback, throws a nice ball.
Well thrown to Luke Ertz. His 4th touchdown of the season, and that one a doozy. 4 plays, 56 yards for the score. And now Ilion will kick it off, and they go towards Lambert again, who mishandles it at the 10, and will now try and return it from his own goal line. And he is bottled up right around the 14-yard line.
Tough play, and those are the ones that you have to field, and if they bounce, you got to make sure you've got it on the right bounce and don't fumble it, because usually what happens is you come up and your protection is now changed and you've kind of hesitated. So what happened is they got in there and were able to bring him down shy of the 20-yard line, well shy, around the 14.
Coach Bob Turley has to like what he sees thus far, while some concern over on the JD bench, down 7-0, and not very good field position here after the kick. The handoff first back through is Mason. He's chopped down at about the 20-yard line. Another good pop by the Ilion defense.
They're doing some rocking and rolling in there. Lots of hits. Good first down yardage, though, for JD. And one of the things that out of 4-3 defense that Ilion uses, they blitz a lot. And he said, we'll take some chances. And you're going to get a look at them blitzing as the day goes on. Let's see what they do on this series.
That was Tyner, the quarterback, by the way, with the hit on Travis Mason. 2nd down and 5. The pitch goes to Kinsey, cutting back to the near side of the field, has one man to beat to get to the outside. He's cutting back at the 40 and loses his footing at about the 41-yard line. That will be good enough for a Jamesville Dewitt first down.
Just like they diagrammed it, you run all the way to your right on an option play, stop, and then come all the way back to the left, which is exactly what he did. And that's why this guy is so good. He makes something out of something. Should have been a 10-yard loss. Is going to give him a first down and about a 15-yard gain. And there's the speed we talked about. He makes the corner. Eventually, he has to make a cut, loses his footing, and is brought down by number 30, Berth. But Kinsey, 21 yards on that, gets JD out of a hole.
1st and 10 from the 41. Handoff is to Mason, again right up the middle. Shoots the gap out to about the 44-yard line. Pickup of a few on the play.
It's interesting, if you look at Kinsey, he actually is a wingback in a Delaware wing T. He lines up sometimes in back of the end, canted in at an angle. It's great because then you can run the option to him, and he's got the speed. Lots of times they put him in motion, so you got a guy who can run a 4-3. He's already moving. When the ball is snapped, it gives him an opportunity to make the corner. So JD using a good offense to take advantage of their speed.
And the guy who runs a 4-3, Dale, doesn't need that extra step if you're on the defensive side.
That's right. You really don't want anybody to have an extra step, especially somebody who's been timed at 4-3. And there's going to be a timeout now for Jamesville Dewitt, Beth.
So JD will take the timeout with 5:40 to go here in the first quarter. Ilion on top 7-0. And you may be wondering how JD with an 8-1 record is actually the 2 seed, while Ilion with the 7-2 record is the number 1 seed. And they base that on Class B opponents. And Ilion 6-0 against Class B opponents, while JD was 5-1 against Class B teams. And Solvay, there's a Solvay factor involved today.
Yeah, right. Solvay beat Jamesville Dewitt, lost to Ilion. So I believe that obviously when you sit down, you say you've got one common opponent, and that's exactly what happened. But they both respect each other, and 1 and 2 really doesn't make a heck of a lot of difference now that they're out here. But you're right, it was kind of interesting. And when you do these seedings, these teams don't normally play, so you have to kind of go on a little subjectivity, and it worked out that way. But right now, he can put it all away.
2nd and 6. Handoff is to Lambert. He gets across midfield, wrapped up by Tyner at the Ilion 49, and close to him. Looks like he's got enough for the first down. And he does.
You look at this offense, Kinsey, we said, averaging 9.8 a carry, Mason 7.3, Lambert 8.8, and Wilbur 5.3. They run a little inside game here, a little trap counter, and he just burst through the hole. And Lambert, who's a big guy, 5'11", 190, gets the first.
There you see Mike Lambert, just a junior. On 1st and 10. Handoff goes to Kinsey around the right end. Breaking free from a couple of tacklers and fighting his way down to about the 38-yard line, and that will be enough for another JD first down.
You look at Kinsey, good look at him, 6'3", about 190. He's a long, tall kid, and they lined him up way in the backfield instead of as a wing back. He had nice blocking up off the right side, and he just he runs kind of straight up and down, but he's got that good sprinter speed, and another first down.
11-yard run for carries for Kinsey. 6 carries for 43 yards now in this first quarter. 1st and 10 Red Rams from the 38. And this is Mason falling forward rather, onto his back at about the 35-yard line. Pickup of 3 on the play. Greg Jones making the stop. Number 55, the senior defensive end. .440 now to go in the first. 2nd down and 7 for JD. Kelly with the pitch to Kinsey. He's got some room inside the 30 and stuck again by the Ilion D at the 25-yard line.
Number 9, we heard that all the way up here. That's Luke Ertz, the guy who scored the touchdown. What a smack. I'm surprised the helmet didn't break. Boy, that was a hit. And this is kind of a volume replay, too. Let's see. Turn up your volume and see if you can hear this. Well, not on that one. Believe me, it was there, and he put a hit on him. But another first down for Jamesville Dewitt. Good blocking up front for the Red Rams. Offensive line starting to kick out. They blitzed inside that time. They picked it up and were able to go off tackle to the left.
From the 24. Handoff is to the first back through, and bottled up is Mason. Got back to the line of scrimmage, and that's about all.
Mason, the guy they like to go to inside. 5'11", 212, so he's more of a fullback type, and he's the inside runner, and they get those other guys outside, but, you know, you got to run your fullback. You can't let them think that, well, they're just going to go outside, so they're keeping them honest, running the fullback inside. Didn't get much that time, but it's setting them up to get to the outside.
As you see, Ilion won the last meeting 3 years ago between these two. Kinsey and JD trying to change that score or right that wrong in their eyes. As Kinsey fights down to about the 16-yard line, and that will set up a 3rd and short.
Nice block on the outside by Lambert on that play. Helped Kinsey. Kinsey read the block, cut up inside of Lambert, and brings it down inside the red zone. And you're going to see 53 and 35. There's the block I was talking about right there on the outside by Lambert. And that really helps out when you got a back who, when he's not running with the ball, goes out and lays some plastic on somebody, and that's exactly what Lambert did. 3rd and short now for the Red Rams.
Lambert and Mason in the backfield. The pitch goes to Lambert and gets away from one defender and then is wrapped up by Jason Denicola right near that first down marker. See where they give him the spot. Initially, it looked like he may have been pushed out shy of that first down marker, and it will indeed be
attempted 77. So when you figure it out, it doesn't look like, you know, he throws all that much, but the quarterback that was there before him threw 77 times coming up into this game. So before he was hurt, so you get a good idea they will throw the football. Whedon, good numbers as a running back. I wonder if they throw him out of the backfield. We shall see.
Over 1,200 yards on the season and 12 touchdowns. Now 3rd and 3 on the keeper, and Tyner is bottled up shy of the first down marker. So it looks like the Golden Bombers will send on the punting unit. And the JD defense impressive here. It'll be 3 and out after they themselves were stopped on a 4th down try.
Kind of cut down the passing game. You don't want to try passing from that area, so they were forced to run the ball, and they had been passing with some effectiveness. So JD makes a good defensive stand. Now they're going to retrieve this punt, receive the punt.
Larson will punt it away, and it's headed towards Adonis Kinsey at the 40, the 45, looking for a block. Gets a few across midfield. He's got one blocker in front of him. Cuts back at the 25 and is hauled down at the 18-yard line.
Berth made a saving tackle when Kinsey cut it back against the grain. He got a great block at the point of attack, and they set up that little picket fence, and he got behind it, and you know it's trouble. They managed to get inside. Watch it right here. Watch him go right, center, and now he breaks left. Now they've all set up. There's the backs of the wall, and that's where the guys are saying, I'm just going to pick them all off. There's the block he got at the point of attack, and now he slips inside. You can see all those guys lined up, but now he's got to make a cut against the grain, and Berth There's the cut. Berth later brought him down and saved the touchdown for Ilion.
Hand off to Lambert. He bowls his way inside the 15 to about the 12. 42 yards, by the way, on that punt return for Adonis Kinsey to set up the Red Rams with very good field position. 38 seconds to go in this first quarter. JD trailing 7-0.
Official timeout, at least for a second, while they confer. Looking at that offensive line from Jamesville Dewitt, you've got some awful big fellas in there.
Bunch.
Yeah, you know, you got a guy 278, a guy 221. The guy that I like is, and everybody likes, is this Whipple, 78, who was the left tackle, who's made a great job of helping block on those counters. And at 6'3", 278, he's got the Division I kind of size that colleges are looking for.
As you see, the officials now talking with Coach Turley on the Ilion sideline, and I guess the problem was with the clock. So they've actually run some time off of the game clock down to 34 seconds. Because the clock did not run on that last play, that first down play for JD.
Run down that, I was talking about that offensive line. The center, Hunter, is 220. Haley is 221. Bassett, the tackle, is 267. Whipple's 278. And they got Luke Rabideau, the guard, at 174. He kind of sticks out there, but they pull him a lot out of this wing T offense. You can get a guy out in front. When the guy's 174, you got to believe he's faster than those other guys.
Yeah.
But they use them well, and they have blocked very well up to this point. They've got to put it away. They had a little problem the last time. Couldn't come up with it, turned it over. But that was last time. Let's see what they come up with this time.
They now run the clock all the way down to 24 and counting. 2nd down and 4 now for the Red Rams. Kelly under center. Penalty flag is down. Kelly rolling to his right, passes away to the end zone, incomplete. But once again, a flag down at the line of scrimmage. And it will go against the Red Rams. Illegal procedure, the call from our referee, Frank Miserelli. He's talking with the defensive captain, Ryan Cabral.
He elects to take that penalty, and that'll back him up. Let's hear what they have to say.
Okay, we have an illegal motion on the offense.
And it was illegal motion on Jamesville Dewitt.
So 5 yards back. Might be able to pick up, see what there. You see right there, 53. Yep. The man that I talked about, or one of the guards I talked about, it wasn't Rabideau, was 53. But he pulled and got up a second too early.
That was Bill Phelps. Now on 2nd down and 9. Kinsey finds an opening. And it's quickly closed up by Ilion as Kinsey is taken down at about the 16-yard line. And that will take care of the first quarter of play here inside the Carrier Dome to determine the Section 3 Class B championship. Ilion 7, Jamesville Dewitt nothing. We'll be back right after this. Welcome back to the Carrier Dome. Ilion head coach Bob Curley and the Golden Bombers leading Jamesville Dewitt 7-0 after the first 12 minutes. There you see JD head coach Bill Brown. Brown in his 3rd season with the Red Rams, used to coach at Holland Patton, and has actually won a couple of sectional championships in 1983 and 1987. And these two familiar foes, they faced each other. Turley was at Ilion and Coach Brown was at Holland Patton. And as we get set to get the second quarter underway, Jamesville Dewitt with a 3rd and 8 from the 16. The pitch to Kinsey, gets a nice block and fights his way inside the 10, run out of bounds. Looks to be right around the 6-yard line. Let's see where they spot it. Check it now. They'll bring it out to about the 8. And that will be close to that first down marker.
You get a great look there. You get a great look at Kinsey, but you get a great look at number 55, Greg Jones. The job you're supposed to do on the option is make sure the quarterback gets hit every play. Now, Kinsey took the ball down, but he just took a wallop. The quarterback from JD really just took a shot because, as you say, and as I say in the option game, they really want to send someone down hard on the quarterback. So it's going to be measurable at this point for a first down.
And he will bring the sticks all the way across the field to measure this one. And JD will come up short by that much. So from just outside the 8-yard line, it will be 4th down for the Red Rams.
They stalled once before in this red zone and had to turn the ball over.
There you see the stats for the first quarter. Rushing yards, all Red Rams. Passing yards favoring Ilion. JD with a fumble that didn't end up hurting them. 8 first downs to 1 for Ilion, but Ilion has the touchdown.
That's right.
39 yards from Tyner to Ertz.
Yep, and that's all that counts. You can get killed statistically, but as long as you come out on the top end of the scoreboard, you're all set. At this point, JD really would like to come up with this first down. And let's see what they come up with for a play.
0 for 2 on 4th down conversions today. Wing T, Lambert in motion. Handoff is to Mason, who bowls his way forward and has the first down to the 7-yard line.
You know, we mentioned Phelps before 53. He's in for Haley, who left early with a leg injury, and you're going to see him on the right side. He does a good job blocking. They go left and was hit in the backfield, but good forward motion. Gets the first down for Mason.
So now 1st and goal for Jamesville Dewitt from just inside the 7-yard line. Handoff goes to Lambert, trying to get around the left end, cuts back inside the 5, touchdown, Jamesville DeWitt. Mike Lambert with a 7-yard scamper for the score.
This is really a great run, not because it's so far, because it's actually only 7 yards, but he does a great job of slipping tackles and breaking against the grain. Watch Lambert. He goes way out to the left. First guy through is Kelly. He makes him miss, and he cuts back against the grain, breaks 2 tackles, third one at the goal line, and just a great 7-yard run for the touchdown.
Extra point from JD
No
is
good.
no good. So a costly miss for the Red Rams. Ilion maintains the lead at 7-6 with 11:26 to go in the first half.
Well, if you're JD, you got to say, all right, we scored. We've been killing them statistically, but now we got something, but we didn't even come up with a tie because we lost that extra point. But they certainly have to feel a little bit better about their offense. They've been doing so well. Here's the touchdown again. Watch Lambert. There's the tackle. We're going to cut back right there. 1, 2, and right at the goal line, he breaks the 3rd tackle. Number 20, that was McGann, the last man that had a shot at him, but he rumbled into the end zone for the touchdown. 5'11", 190. Good size backs. 190, 190, 212. I'm amazed at a school. You know, you figure a Class B school, perhaps they wouldn't have that size and the speed, but boy, they do.
6 plays, 18 yards for the score. That was all set up by the nice punt return from Adonis Kinsey. And the 8th touchdown rushing of the year for Mike Lambert. And now the Red Rams will kick it off. And it goes short, and Tyner goes down on a knee when he tried to field that one. And it will be 1st and 10 for Ilion from the 35.
I think you'll take that field position any day. He probably thought he could have gotten more, but he made a sure-handled reception of the ball, and unfortunately had his knee down, but they're right at the 35-yard line, so they have good field position to start.
Whedon in the backfield along with Ryan Cabral. Double wides go right. Tyner hands it off to Whedon, and not much room up the middle. Wrapped up on the play.
Haley there, 75, who's now just going one way. If you get hurt, you get a reward. You only have to go. Yeah, you only have to go one way.
Play half the time.
Right. Yeah. But he's moved over to defense and still kind of gimping around on the ankle.
Pickup of a couple. It'll be 2nd down and 8. again split backfield behind Rocco Tyner. Tyner will keep it, breaks a couple of tacklers, and is out close to the 45-yard line and very near a first down for the Ilion Golden Bombers.
Yeah, they got a pretty good spot on that. It might be measurable. I guess they figure they're going to have to measure. I thought they might. Yeah, here's the look as he breaks it up inside. Rocco Tyner, spin move. Hold on that football, Rocco. Takes a shot and leans forward. Just shy of the 45, but they didn't have to get there for the first down. Let's see what the measurement is going to say.
That was Lambert and Chris Kelly in on the tackle. And just shy of the first down.
Yeah, about a stripe shy.
Cannot get much closer without actually having it.
Right. They set up, you're going to get a look at it, see how close it is. There it is, third down.
From just shy of the 45-yard line. Now a big third down play for Ilion. Ertz comes to the near side. Justin Hoffman goes wide right. I formation now behind Rocco Tyner. 3rd and inches.
No.
First back through. Cabral does not get it.
Haley, 75 there first. Got to help.
Outstanding push.
Didn't look good from the get-go, though. The play didn't look like it was really destined for much. They looked a little confused, and there he runs into the back. He ran right into number 34, Cabral, and that was not the way they diagrammed it. And it's going to be a 4th down now. You can see he ran into him, but at the point of attack, there are 4 red helmets right in that hole almost immediately. So Larson's going to punt.
Gets the boot away end over end and takes a bounce at the 20. And Ilion will cover it up at about the 26-yard line. So the Jamesville Dewitt defense holds, and now the offense trotting back on for the Red Rams, who trail Ilion 7-6, despite the fact that Jamesville Dewitt has dominated in the statistical categories here in this first half. 9:44 to play in the half. Adonis Kinsey, Travis Mason, and Mike Lambert doing some damage out of the backfield for the Red Rams. Junior quarterback Chris Kelly under center on 1st and 10. And it's Mason rambling out across the 31.
You got a good look at that offense, that way that wing T is set up. There's a lot of motion, people going different directions. It's very difficult to find one guy and say he's got the ball, and that's the beauty of this offense. And when you've got guys, as we said, that are that fast, it's a nice looking offense. They got about 5 on first down, so 2nd and 5 for JD.
$9:10 to go in the first half. Kelly hands it off to Mason. A lot of room up the middle. And Mason lumbers his way across the 40 to the 41-yard line. First down, JD.
Well, the Bombers blitzed on that, and they ran right by the linebacker. You're going to see it on the right side of the line. They blitzed, and they got a huge hole. Just a great block by number 53 from JD. Bill Phelps helped wedge that block open, and that hole really was there for the first down. So they blitzed, got the block that they needed, and opened up a big hole on the left side.
And a timeout taken by Ilion as Coach Turley wants to try and get the defensive unit together a little bit. And Bill Brown talking with Travis Mason. Looked like he may have come up a bit gimpy on that ankle after that last play. And look at the domination of the Jamesville Dewitt offense. 10 first downs to 1 for Ilion.
And they rushed for just under almost 100 yards in the first quarter. 99, which basically means you're doing things right. As we said, when you look at the scoreboard, there was a nice pass play from Ilion to give him the first touchdown, an extra point. JD stalled once in the red zone, then came down and scored, but couldn't put the extra point in, and they're still down by 1.
Jamesville Dewitt, the number 2 seed in the tournament. Ilion, the number 1 seed. The winner takes home the hardware for Section 3, Class B.
And this just continues. If you win, you stay on, right? Go on toward the state championship.
Get to come back and play in the Dome one more time. on 1st and 10 from the 41. Kelly taking his time. And now gives it to Lambert, running around the left end and wrapped up at about the 43-yard line. Tyner was in on the stop, but as they get up from the carpet, Chris Whedon, the linebacker, was the one who caught Lambert from behind.
And they sent every linebacker. They had 8 men going in the gaps, and it's tough to run against. What happens is if you break a tackle at the line of scrimmage or thereabouts, there's usually a lot of room because you've sent everybody up inside, and the only guy there is the safety. But they made the play work, so it was a good blitz on Ilion's part, second in about 8.
Brad Darrow was also there defensively for the Golden Bombers. From the 43. The pitch and a fumble, ball loose on the carpet. Golden Bombers have it. Ryan Cabral with the recovery and the second turnover of the game for Jamesville Dewitt.
When you've got guys like JD with their rushing, you got to take some chances, and that's just what Ilion's doing. They're blitzing a lot. If you're going to run the option, they want to hurry you. They want to make sure that you're going to have to make that pitch, make it quickly. They come down on the quarterback, they hurry the pitch. The ball's bounding around, and Cabral down on the ball, Ryan Cabral. So the blitz working effectively for Ilion. As you see, everything's kind of stopped up. It was a great hit, again, by Larson, who really put the hit in the quarterback. But more important than the hit, Beth, was the fact he forced the pitch early, and that's exactly what happens when you run a gambling defense. You can get burned, or you can come up big, and they came up big that time. And while we're talking, JD's offsides.
So this will give Ilion another 5 yards, and I think Larson, who we've mentioned all over the place on both sides of the ball, actually might have tipped
It was
that
dead ball
pitch.
foul, encroachment on the defense.
And the call made encroachment on JD. So it's 1st down and 5 now from the 26. I formation behind Tyner. Straight drop, looking to throw, looking for Ertz again. Ball's up for grabs, incomplete. Mark Woodall that time right on the money with the coverage.
Woodall, the guy who got beat for the touchdown, or at least was the guy closest, and it was a perfectly thrown ball in the touchdown, was in perfect position there, knocked it down. He was looking one way. You knew where he was going. He was going back to Ertz, but just great positioning. And that is going to bring up 2nd and 5.
Good defensive play by the wide receiver Ertz, too, to break up the interception attempt from Woodall. 2nd down and 5. Tyner on the keeper, cannot get around the outside. Thrown down by linebacker Tim McBride at the 24.
McBride and Wolfang there to stop the quarterback keep on the option. As Tyner went to his left, tucked it up, started to run. Initial hit by number 24, McBride, and finished off by 52, Luke Rabideau.
So now 3rd down and 3 for the Golden Bombers from the 24. Whedon in motion, Tyner dropping back to throw under pressure, passes away to Whedon, incomplete in the end zone through the hands of Whedon.
Well, JD did a little blitzing of their own on that, and they got to the quarterback just as he got rid of the ball. Wolfanger, the man that we talked about, really gave a shot to number 2, Tyner, but the ball underthrown, fortunately, because the defender had fallen down at the goal line. So it's going to be 4th and about 4.
0 for 1 on 4th down conversion so far in the game. Man in motion is Hoffman. Tyner, play action, will keep it now and will not get the 1st down. I believe it was Paul Haley once again.
Yep, 75, Haley up, limping over to the sideline. He's had quite a game since he left early with a sprained ankle, or at least an ankle injury. Watch him right there. Didn't take the fake, came back and brought Tyner to the turf, and that's a big play for JD.
7:15 to go in the 1st half. The Red Rams will take over. And that is Rocco Tyner who comes to the Ilion sideline. 1st and 10 from the 24. Kelly pitching to Kinsey. Fumble. Ball is loose once again and still down on the carpet, and Ilion recovers at the 16. Number 55, Greg Jones, was there to scoop it up. And we'll be right back to the Carrier Dome after this. Back to the Carrier Dome on first down. Whedon fumbling the football, but able to recover it for Ilion after Ilion came up with the fumble recovery from Adonis Kinsey.
10-yard loss, however, so JD gets a big break. There's the play that we missed. Ball knocked out by number 65 from JD. That's Bassett knocked that ball out, and then Ilion finally fell on it, but had a 10-yard loss. Looks like a pass.
Second down and 20. Tyner running out of time. Good coverage by the secondary, and Wolfanger was there to make the play defensively, along with Bill Phelps.
Wolfanger up big, came in there and really following the quarterback, not letting him get away because he's a running threat. And watch Wolfanger. His job is keep that quarterback in, and he does right there. Nice tackle by Wolfanger. But he was looking for Ertz, who was cutting against the grain. Looked like he might get open, but JD was able to put the pressure on. And we're going to get a timeout.
And Rocco Tyner has come out of the game. The quarterback is hurting for Ilion. Number 10, John Day, has checked in, and I believe that's probably why Coach Turley wants to talk things over with the team to settle them down a little bit. We saw Tyner come off the field slowly at the end of that last possession, and then after Wolfanger wrapped him up on that last play, again, he got up gingerly.
When you're playing guys going both ways, it's gonna hurt you a little bit eventually. And what happened there? And I think he took a helmet on the ankle or the shin, and we hope that it's not serious. But at least for the time being, they've taken a timeout, talked things over. We'll see who does go in. But they've they've come back and they got a long third down. Third and what? About 24.
Probably
23,
somewhere
yep.
right in that neighborhood.
23. Yep. Third 23.
Here we see again the JD fumble.
Yeah, that one. And watch this bounce back in. It actually bounced back in bounds. Looked like it was going to go out, and that was what JD. Now what they're doing is they're blitzing every first down. They're blitzing against JD. Now that was a poor pitch, but that's a poor pitch because of the inside pressure put on by the Ilion linebackers on the blitz. And you see that ball bounce backwards onto the field of play, and the great pickup by Ilion. Right now, Tyner is back in at quarterback.
Third and 23. Tyner pump fake, flag is down, passes away, caught by Ertz at the 15, down to the 14-yard line, but a penalty flag down back at the line of scrimmage. Nice pickup by Ertz, but I think they're going to have to bring it back.
That was the same play that they tried before out of a different set, and they were going to do a little throwback as he ran underneath the coverage, but there's going to be a motion penalty against Ilion, so that's going to push him back even further.
I think it'll go against number 4, Justin Hoffman, who jumped the gun a little bit.
We've got the Ilion sideline a little bit concerned. They've got a 1-point lead, but they got a quarterback limping around.
Okay.
And they've got some penalties.
Yeah, the illegal motion on the offense.
So this will set Ilion back even further to the 34-yard line, where it will now be third down and 28. Double wides right. Ertz comes to the near side. Again, Tyner looking for Ertz down the sideline. Intercepted at the 8-yard line. Jamesville Dewitt will take over, picked off by Chris Kelly. And that's the first turnover of the game for Ilion.
Tyner underthrew the ball, and the receiver was well covered, actually double covered, and Kelly stepped up front right there. And you could see the Woodall was behind him, but he cuts back here. Kelly cuts back, trying to pick up a little bit more. He goes back about 5 yards, just about turns the corner. Great block there by 35 Lambert to help him out. Gets a little bit more, but a series of turnovers and some problems in this end of the field. JD gets the ball back again.
First and 10. Handoff Lambert off the left tackle. Lambert pounds his way across the 20 to about the 23.
35, ball carrier, gain of 5, second down and 5.
Jamesville Dewitt trying to shake a case of fumbleitis here in the first half. They have lost the ball 3 times, and now their first turnover going their way. With 5 minutes to go in this first half, JD trailing Ilion 7-6. Second down and 5. Handoff goes to Kinsey, breaking a couple of tacklers and getting out to about the 29-yard line. That should be enough for the first down.
Remember, I was saying that they're blitzing on first down. They're also blitzing on second and possibly third. They're just sending everybody, and they're trying to clog up those running lanes and not let those guys get a chance to get going. And it has been working on occasion, and on that particular occasion it didn't. JD got a first down, but that's the way it goes with a blitzing defense. Gets the ball deep in the backfield, breaks a tackle right there. That's just good, strong running by Kinsey. When you're going both ways, you know, the second half starts to get a little more wearisome. Even so they've got to get some rest for some guys. But the blitz puts a lot of pressure on, but it also tires out your own team.
We've got an official's timeout as Kinsey fixing his footwear. 11 first downs for the Red Rams to 1 for the Golden Bombers. First and 10 from the 29-yard line, under 4.5 to go in the first half. Kelly dropping back to throw, passes away, has a man wide open at the 32, across the 40, and bulling his way out across the 45-yard line was Tony Brown, the senior, with a big pickup.
Great bit of running, and I'll tell you, Kelly they're lucky to get that ball off, and he just did a great job of getting open. And watch right here, just puts his head down and knocks Ryan Day down, and then just keeps bowling down the field. Great job by number 44, Tony Brown, 6'1", 180 pounds, runs like about 200. You can see they just got that ball away, but it was open because they blitzed.
Now Adonis Kinsey into Ilion territory. Bowling his way down to about the 45-yard line. Pickup of about 10 on the play. Close to another JD first down. Good to see Ryan Day, by the way, in that Ilion backfield. We weren't sure if we were going to see him today due to an injury.
Another handoff to Kinsey up inside. You can see him breaking tackles. Guys are getting hands on him, but he's just big, strong guy, runs, gets good yardage. And guys from Ilion get up a little slower now as they have to take on this JD ground game.
Second and inches. Lambert has the first down and more. Stopped at about the 39-yard line. Ertz, Luke McCann in on the stop, and more too, Dale, we're seeing the defensive backs having to make the stops for this Ilion defense.
When you see the safety getting up time after time, you know that they're breaking the line of scrimmage, and they're getting good blocking up front. There's no doubt about it. JD's offensive line kicking out and picking up the blitz better on this. You can look at the rushing yards. It gives you the idea. 144-8. Just not able to put it on the scoreboard.
Kelly play action. Under pressure and sacked at the 47-yard line. Brad Darrow was the first one there, along with Corey Cabral.
They went after him, and they got him. See the inside pressure right there from 72. That was Darrow, 6'1", 195-pounder, and he just got in the face of the quarterback. And the junior puts a little bit of a loss on Jamesville Dewitt. They're now back about 6 more yards, so they've got to get down to just the 29-yard line of Ilion for the first.
4th sack of the season for Darrow. 2nd and 16. Kelly, the shovel pass to Kinsey. Kinsey trying to break free and cannot do it. Thrown down at the 41 by Jason Denicola.
Well executed little play. They didn't get as much as they wanted out of it, but it was kind of interesting. They pulled both guards, made it look like they were going to sweep right, and then the quarterback, watch, see, both guards pull. Now he just goes bloop inside. Hopefully, if everything's blocked right, you get a big hole, but nice job. 76, Denicola got off the block, made the tackle. 3rd and long, make it 3rd and 11. So Denicola, a big tackle for Ilion.
Play action again. Kelly passes away across the middle and caught by Lambert at the 30-yard line. Forward progress will get him a bit closer to the first down, but it looks like he's still going to be about a half a yard shy.
We've had some big 4th down plays attempted, so this is going to be another one as Lambert, nice reception, but once again, a lot of pressure inside. Watch the pressure. There it comes. And Kelly just able to turn around and get that ball delivered in a seam, but it's 4th and about 1.
Handoff, Kinsey breaking free from a tackle behind the line of scrimmage to pick up the first down. Good effort by Adonis Kinsey, and JD continues to move the football.
He ran right into the back of Bassett, his own offensive lineman. Kinsey up to 81 yards on 14 carries. You know, if that's any consolation, his average is down. Coming in, he was 9.8, but
he's got the second half to continue to work on that. With a minute to go here in the first half, JD trying to punch it in. Kelly again back to throw, has a receiver caught at the 20 by Ian Nelson.
Ian Nelson, 151-pound split end, came up with that grab. You know, I got to give Kelly a lot of credit. Kelly's seen a lot of brown jerseys in his face as they blitz. You know what? He's keeping his cool. He hasn't thrown the ball away. The pitches have sometimes been off a little bit, but some of them have been tipped. Some of them haven't been his fault, but when he's throwing the ball, he keeps a cool head, and they're putting a lot of pressure on him. So give Kelly a lot of credit.
2nd down and 3 from the 20. Kelly again looking to throw. Rolling to his right, passes away across the middle, and incomplete, almost intercepted. That one was up for grabs. Luke McCann almost came down with it.
Good point. It's very hard as a right-handed quarterback running to your right and running for your life, having to try to throw it, and he actually tried to throw back against the grain, and of course the ball has a tendency to go up in the air. You'll see it right here. He can't even square his shoulders. Wasn't even able to get his arm all the way back, and of course he threw that up, and as you said, it was fortunate. It could have been an interception. But it's going to be a 3rd down now, and they have about 3, I think, for the first.
Kelly 5 of 7, 53 yards on the day. Ilion up 7-6 with 44 seconds to go in the first half. 3rd down and 3 for the Red Rams. Travis Mason loses the football, and JD able to fall on it.
Is that 4 fumbles now, I think?
Yes.
For Jamesville Dewitt?
Chris Kelly, the quarterback, able to grab onto it. It will be 4th down and about 6. And a hand from the Ilion crowd as the defense comes to the sideline. There you see Kelly able to dive on it.
I didn't get the number, but they got an inside, a tackler from Ilion inside, got off the block and then put his helmet on the ball, and it popped out. And JD having what they call ball security problems. You don't want to go into you don't want to have 4 in a game, much less 4 in the first half, because eventually they're going to kill you. JD at down by 1, as we said, statistically winning the game, but at this point they're still down by 1, and Ilion doing a good job and coming up with the big plays defensively, at least at this point.
Well, we knew coming in it might be a battle between the JD offense and the Ilion defense. Jamesville Dewitt averaging 33 points a game, while the Ilion defense is only allowing 7 a game. And right now, it's the Ilion defense holding the line.
That's right, if you're going for the law of averages.
4th down and 6 from the 22. Kelly, they run the reverse to Kinsey. Kinsey in trouble, and he will be thrown down at the 24-yard line. The Ilion defense again coming up with the big play.
Greg Jones, fantastic job. He got a hand on the shirt of Kinsey, and he held on and waited until the posse came. Here's the outside handoff actually from Lambert to Kinsey. Watch 55 right there. Holds on to the jersey and then waits till he gets some help. Had he not been able to get a hold of that jersey, it would have been a first down, possibly a touchdown. Big play for Ilion. Another 4th down. We've had some exciting ones, Beth.
And Ilion has been there at every turn. Greg Jones now turns around. goes to the offensive line. And it is not Tyner that's out there. It's John Day who will just put a knee down as Tyner gets a well-deserved breather over on the Ilion sideline. And a nice hand for the Ilion Golden Bombers as you see sophomore John Day in at quarterback. And they will not have to take another snap as time expires here in the first half of play. The Ilion Golden Bombers, the #1 seed, leading the second-seeded Jamesville Dewitt Red Rams 7-6. We'll be back with our halftime festivities after this. And welcome back to the Carrier Dome. We are at the half of the Section 3 Class B championship with Ilion leading Jamesville Dewitt 7-6. I'm Beth Mullins along with Dale Drypolcher. And Dale, pretty impressive defensive effort from Ilion and a pretty impressive offensive effort from Jamesville DeWitt.
Well, we talked statistically JD winning the game, but 7-6 is the score, and I think Ilion's come up with big plays offensively and defensively. In between, they've given up some yardage, but it's a great football game we thought it was going to be.
All right, let's take a look at the touchdowns from that first half of play, and we'll start out with Ilion, which got on the board first.
Well, they threw the pass, and watch Ertz gets behind the cornerback, number 31, Woodall for JD, and that was a big play. Gave him the first touchdown, got the extra point, gave him 7 points.
And then Jamesville DeWitt finally breaking through with the handoff.
Great 7-yard run by Lambert, but watch what he does. He goes wide, gets the pressure. He's had inside pressure all day, does a great job of cutting back, breaks a tackle right at the goal line, in for JD, not able to come up with the extra point. That's been the difference, 7-6.
And now on to the statistics from that first half of play, and as we expected, all Red Rams.
Yeah, 186 total yards. Turnovers 3. JD's actually fumbled 4 times, got one back, but they put the ball on the carpet. But Ilion put that pressure on them. They're using a lot of blitzing in that option offense. When JD used it, they forced the pitch. So it's just been the kind of game that we thought it would be. Good close defense and a lot left to go.
All right, the Golden Bombers leading the Red Rams here at the intermission 7-6, and we'll be back with the second half of play to determine the Section 3 Class B championship right after this. Welcome back to the Carrier Dome. Ilion leading Jamesville DeWitt 7-6 as we get set to start the third quarter of play here at the Carrier Dome. But first, we'd like to introduce you to the Ilion cheerleaders who are here for today's game. Aaron Bullis, Marcy Burney, Amy Klosmer, Aaron Smith, Alicia Heap, Amanda Hoover, Michelle Cormia, Sarah DeLong, Shannon Karpiak, Brooke Selby, Samantha Taylor, Rebecca Leonard, Lee Filkins, Christina Moss, Ann Murphy, Jacqueline White, and Lindsay Lynch. The advisor is Vicki DeLong. And the Jamesville DeWitt Red Rams back out on the field, getting set for the third quarter. And let's take a look now at the Jamesville DeWitt cheerleaders.
All right, let's take a look. Candace Bennett, Andrea Bohr, Heather Carroll, Sally Donovan, Alyssa June, Whitney Kelly, Bjorn Kotzek, Ryan Marriott, Sarah McElvain, Kimberly Metzger, Amy Orlandella, Gina Patrica, Carolyn Rags, Nikki Rizak, Catherine Sage, Erica Shelley, Jacqueline Skellerup, Sarah Taub, and the coach, Kim Demko. That's Jamesville DeWitt varsity cheerleaders.
Very nice job with some tough names on the cheerleading squad.
You got the easy ones, but they've done a great job. Adds a lot here at the Dome.
Yep. A lot of excitement, a lot of energy, and it will only increase here in the second half as we get closer to finding out who will be the Section 3 Class B champions for 1996. Ilion in brown right now, the #1 seed with the lead 7-6 over Jamesville DeWitt, the #2 seed.
You know, this is when you go in, you don't even tell the guys what the stats are. You don't talk about stats because all you go in if you're the Ilion coach, say, look, we're up 7-6. We can win this game. We got to do some things right. And Jamesville DeWitt, obviously, they're going to go in and say, look, we're running this ball all over the place.
Yep.
But, guys, we got to cut down on the mistakes. We had 4 fumbles. We've got to get better ball security. We got to block a little better on the option because they're putting a lot of pressure. They're doing a lot of blitzing. So, JD, I'm sure the offensive line coach spent a lot of time talking with his guys because they're up against a formidable defense, and they are putting a lot of pressure on Jamesville DeWitt.
We'll be back with the third quarter of action here from the Carrier Dome. 7-6 Ilion over JD. Stay with us. Welcome back to the Carrier Dome as we get set for the opening kickoff of this second half. Jamesville Dewitt dominating in the statistical categories, but it is Ilion holding the 7-6 lead as we get set to start out this third quarter. Whedon back deep to receive the kick. It is Kirk Wolfanger who will kick it off for the Red Rams. And the kick short, takes a hop away from Ilion, and a fight for the loose ball. Red Rams
might have it.
Saying they have it, and they do.
Number 50 for Jamesville Dewitt. Mike Hotailing appeared to be the guy who got the ball. Number 50, as that ball, like it was like a 9-iron shot on the green there. It hit and went backwards, and of course it went the required distance, and JD got it. I don't know if they did it on purpose. You see it bounce back, and just great coverage downfield. Great special teams work. JD, big break to start the second half. Hotailing very excited.
The Red Rams come up with it. 1st and 10 from the Ilion 34. The pitch goes to Lambert, gets a block to the outside, and runs out of bounds at the 20-yard line.
You called that right. He got a great block by Ian Nelson, 13 on the outside, and he gets a first down right out of the box. JD going to hit right the block. There it is, right there. He gets a block on Derek Richards from Ilion, and that lets the corner get open, and JD down just about the 21-yard line.
11 carries, 55 yards for Lambert. Pickup of 13 on the play. 1st and 10. Kinsey in motion. Kelly fakes the pitch, hands it off to Travis Mason, who's cut down at about the 18.
Corey Cabral, a linebacker, on the tackle. 42, took him by the ankles.
Cabral and his, Corey and his senior brother, Ryan Cabral, part of that linebacking core for Ilion. They've combined for nearly 100 tackles on the season. 2nd down and 7. Handoff goes to Lambert, running around the left end and cut down at the 19. I believe that was Ryan.
Ryan Cabral, right, yep, 5'6", he's a little bigger, 5'6", 181. His brother's 5'5", 160. So great play from the backside. See, he gets inside the block. 63 from JD, trying to get a block. Couldn't do it on Cabral.
Loss of 1 on the play, back to the 19-yard line. So now 3rd and 8. Double wides go right. Nelson and Lambert are out there. Kelly rolling to the right. Passes away, caught by Nelson at about the 15, but immediately brought down there and will be shy of the first down. I believe that was Justin Hoffman there defensively.
Play action, but still Kelly not able to get a lot of time to throw the ball. He never really gets a chance to set up or even on the rollout to get a good look downfield. A lot of pressure coming on the outside right there. You see that's the man who's been so active today, Larson, and the tackle made by Hoffman, and it's only a couple of yards gain. 4th and 5.
Kelly back to throw, pump fakes, now passes away for Kinsey in the end zone, and he makes the catch, but I believe there's going to be offensive interference on the play.
That looked like a center jump in a basketball game. That thing was way up there and up for grabs, and I think you're right. I think they detected a push-off on the receiver, and they did. So that's offensive pass interference.
So the touchdown will be taken away as we take another look.
Before that, I think we saw push off by Kinsey. Right there. There's the push. Good angle. Nice camera work, guys.
Yep, and the official was right on top of that play as well.
You see how the replay was right there. So JD is going to get another shot at it, but they're back another 10 yards or so.
Well, now they're bringing it all the way out to the 31.
In the end zone. That's right. I guess the loss of down, right.
loss of down, so that will give it to Ilion. 1st and 10 from their own 31-yard line. So JD will not get another crack at it. And on the offensive pass interference, the ball goes over to Ilion. The handoff. And the first back through is David Berth. He picks up a few on the carry. It'll be 2nd down and 7.
Denicola on the stop for JD. I didn't realize that that was a loss of down. A big turnover and a big break for Ilion after they lost the kickoff. What amounted to an onside kick. I don't know if it was intentional or not, but JD got it and they bounced back, held them, and now have the ball back.
Rocco Tyner at quarterback. Play action from Tyner. Passes away to the near sideline, and a nice catch at the 46-yard line by number 20, Luke McCann.
McCann did a great job of getting the 1 foot down. They had more than that. It wasn't even close. Just gave Tyner time to throw. And there he needed just the one.
Knew right where that sideline was.
Right, he did. 1st and 10.
From the 41. 3 minutes gone in this 3rd quarter. Play action again from Tyner. This time he goes to Derek Richards underneath, and Richards is stopped after about a 2-yard pickup.
Wolfhanger right on him. Got him and wrapped him up. As they spotted now, looks about a yard gain, so a big play by Wolfhanger. A lot of time, though, for the quarterback, Tyner, to throw. He hit Richards, but he didn't get much. 2nd and 9.
Tyner, 5 of 10, 66 yards, and the 1 touchdown, the 39-yard pass to Luke Ertz for the Ilion touchdown in the 1st quarter. Now Berth out of the backfield in motion to the near side. Tyner, short drop, and now we'll run with it, and nowhere to go. Bill Phelps, I believe, was one of the first guys there, number 53, to make the stop, along with Tim McBride.
Phelps there, they spread him out and then ran up inside. Looked like it might be a little bit of a screen look inside. Let's see. And he just kept it himself. Almost a quarterback draw, but they really spread him out, had all the linebackers spread out and ran it up inside, but got not much more than a yard. So it's 3rd and about 8.
There you see the senior outside linebacker, Tim McBride. 3rd down and long. 1 for 6 on 3rd down conversions is Ilion. Tyner has a man. Wheaton makes the catch inside the 30-yard line. 1st down for the Golden Bombers. And a penalty flag in the backfield.
And I can tell just by the way Ilion's looking that they're not too pleased with that. I thought it might have been a late quarterback hit, but something must have happened. Maybe the quarterback thought he was rough, but he wasn't. There's the nice pass. Big play, but it's going to come back. I think it was a personal foul. They hit the blitzing linebacker, number 28 from JD, came through, didn't get in on the play, Wolfhanger, but somebody gave him a shot after the play, and that is going to cost him big time.
So Ilion, instead of a big pickup on the play, the penalty will set them back.
Flag still sitting out on the field.
Officials still talking about it. Let's see.
Okay, we have a dead ball foul, personal foul on the offense. Okay, 1st down and 25.
So 1st and 25. It was after the pass, so the play counted. The ball, the penalty will be marked off from where the receiver was brought down. So it was a dead ball foul. So it's not as bad as it could have been.
Yes, the passing play stands, and then they mark it off from where the catch was made.
Right.
As opposed to marking it off back at the line of scrimmage.
Which makes it, however, 1st and 25. So still a costly penalty, at least at this point it is, although they maintain possession, move the ball downfield, but 15 yards back from where they would have been.
From the JD 41, 1st and 25. Tyner, straight drop, under pressure, passes away the screen set up for Whedon. And Whedon able to get inside the 35 to about the 34-yard line.
Well, they're starting to use that little screen now. JD's blitzing. They've been sending Wolfanger. They sent him the last 3 plays. And what they're going to try to do is say, okay, if you're going to blitz, then we're going to drop it off on a little center screen. And they had it opened up for a second, but good coverage. 44 jumped up, filled in the gap. That's Tony Brown for JD. Nice job of stopping the screen. Going to be second at about 20.
I formation now behind Tyner. Tyner looking across the middle, and the pass caught at the 25-yard line. Derek Richards was there. And this will set up now about 3rd and 9, 3rd and 8.
Reminiscent, excuse me, Beth, I was just going to say reminiscent of their first drive where they came out and just threw the football. And look at the time Tyner has. Tyner has a lot of time, put it right down the middle, and is bringing him slowly back from a 1st and 25. It's now 3rd and about 8.
Tyner rolling to the near side. Lobs one and caught by Ertz at the 11, stays in bounds, gets inside the 10-yard line. Penalty flag flies at the end of the play.
It looked like a fight. His mouthpiece came out. He got hit so hard his mouthpiece flew out. And then there was a late hit at the end of the play, so this is going to put JD half the distance. A little frustrated as Ertz, the guy who scored the touchdown for Ilion, has been the recipient of a couple of passes, and boy, did he take a hit. Let's take a look at it. There's the hit. There was the mouthpiece. It was Lambert that hit him, and then later there was somebody piled in there at the end, and that cost JD with a unnecessary roughness. Half the distance, ball's on the 4-yard line.
So from a 1st and 25 situation, Ilion fights its way out of that hole and now has it 1st and goal from the 5. Tyner under center. Hand off to Whedon. Whedon to the 4.
Whedon has been, I don't want to say he's been held in check, but obviously they have not been rushing the ball the way they'd like to. They've been throwing it this 3rd quarter, but Whedon, the guy who came in with over 1,200 yards, not really piling up much yardage today. Of course, Ilion in general not getting much offensive yardage in the first half, especially on the ground.
Wolfanger with the stop defensively, now 2nd and goal from the 4. Tyner on the keeper. Gets to maybe the 3. Luke Rabideau was there defensively, as was Kelly and Wolfanger. They were all in the neighborhood.
Well, this is the kind of pressure that your defense really has to rise up, come to the fore, because the momentum has certainly gone the way of Ilion, and you've got a chance to stop them. I'd watch Ertz way out on the left side if I were JD.
3rd and goal from the 3. The pass to Ertz, touchdown! Coach Drypolcher with the call.
The way he's been throwing the ball, and they put him way out on the left. Now, when you're flanked out that far and you cut across on a 45-degree angle, you got one-on-one coverage. There's a whole lot of area to cover, and it's almost impossible to stop that fast slant in, and that's exactly what they did. He's had good blocking from his offensive line on the pass plays, and he hit Ertz.
Rocco Tyner to Luke Ertz.
JD offsides there.
Flags flying on the PAT. Tyner and Ertz have hooked up now for both Ilion scores. A 39-yarder in the first half and now a 3-yarder here in the second. Offsides on the Red Rams.
See if they go for 2.
Dead ball foul. Encroachment on the defense.
Looks like they're still setting up for the
Set
PAT.
up for 1. Yep.
Charles Haggerty on to attempt the extra point. Out of Tyner's hold. And the kick is no good.
You know, they didn't have success they got to half the distance, I thought didn't have success. It looked like the first one was a bad snap. I might have just gone for 2 there and made it 15, but they've got the 13. They've got the momentum. Ilion still on top as a nice passing display. They were at one point, Beth, as we said, what, 1st and 25 and came back from that. Got to give them a lot of credit.
13-6 Ilion with 5:16 to go in the 3rd quarter. And let's take another look at the score. Shiner to Ertz.
Ertz was way out on the other hash mark, 1-on-1. And I believe it was Woodall on the coverage. But when you've got that much area to cover, you just do a quick slant in. And Tyner just threw the ball perfectly as he cut across the formation on about a 45-degree angle from the far hash mark.
Luke Ertz with 2 touchdown receptions today, 5 on the season. 3 catches for 56 yards, and a big day.
This time, first down.
The end zone.
Not quite.
At the 1.
Big difference. Big difference. They'll get the... So good field position for Jamesville Dewitt. From over, and JD will probably continue to dominate statistically, but they get in that red zone. They've not been able to convert but once.
Chris Kelly, the quarterback. He has Lambert and Mason behind him. Kinsey in the slot to the near side. Now Kinsey in motion, and the handoff will go to Lambert. 36.
Whedon shut down offensively, stepping up defensively as the defense of the Golden tested again and again, and they came up big that time, only 1 yard. You get the feeling, though, when they're sending 8 men up, you can get a scrimmage with the speed that JD's got. They could break a long one. Timeout for the official. I think we have a mouthpiece problem. They're giving a guy a chance to fix the helmet and the mouthpiece.
And that is Whedon who made the play defensively.
Yep. 5'10", 180-pound junior. As we said, not getting the call much offensively today, but certainly able to come out since so many guys play both ways. He stepped up defensively, made a nice tackle.
On 2nd down and 8. And off Lambert. This time gets a block. Penalty flag down as Lambert goes down at the 45.
There's no doubt about this one. All 3 officials on that side threw the flag in. Looked like the 4th of July. Let's see what it is. Make sure everybody's got the same penalty and the same number.
I think the referee, Frank Miserelli, the only one who didn't throw the flag on the play. Holding against JD.
And it was an obvious one, at least to the officials. So JD, once again, does something good, and then they have the misfortune of taking themselves back as a hold was called. And
A hold on the offense.
that looks like a hold. See the number 55, you can only read the 1-5 because he's got the other 5 in his hand, and that's pretty easy to see, and the officials all right there, as we said, got in on that one.
I believe that was Kinsey.
Yep, and the holdee was Greg Jones.
Second down and 16 for the Red Rams. Lambert in motion. Kelly back to throw under pressure. Screen set up for Adonis Kinsey. Kinsey across the 40 and out to the 43.
Nice play call against this blitzing defense. They're just sending everybody every play. And Ryan Cabral, 34, has been exceptionally busy, but they're able to do a little center screen. You had to put a little bit of arc on it. There's Cabral trying to track down. Look at the speed. You saw the speed there. He just accelerated away from Cabral, short of the first down, 3rd and about 2, but a nice play against a blitzing Ilion defense. You know, in talking to the coach, Bob Turley told me they blitz a bit. I'd say this is quite a bit.
Bordering on all the time.
Right. Oh, let's see what we got here.
JD playing
Timeout.
a little beat the clock there. They got the timeout, I think, just before the play clock was set to expire.
Yeah, big difference between 3rd and 1.5 and 3rd and 6.5. So they did get the timeout, and they're going to talk things over as Bill Brown heads out to the huddle and talk to his guys. And got to say, you know, keep your cool. There's a lot of game left. There's 3:42 left in this quarter. We got another whole quarter to go. But we got to stop making mistakes, and we got to do what we've done all year. So
what they've done all year has been very explosive, averaging 33 points a game, while the defense for the Red Rams has allowed just 11. On the other side for Ilion, they've averaged about 20 points a contest, and the defense, as we mentioned, has been rock solid, giving up about 7 points per game. And this is a stark contrast for a JD team that scored 47 in a win over Cortland in the semis, and have been held in check here with 6 points on the board with 3:42 to go in the third.
Well, you got to look at this Ilion team, and just you have to praise the defense. They came in and they've been doing the job. Although they've been giving up some yardage, they have bent but not broken and come up with big plays.
3rd down and 2 from the 43. Kelly, quick toss to Kinsey, 1st down, Red Rams, and Kinsey gets out to midfield.
Nice play call. Very nice play call. You got a hard rushing defense, a blitzing defense. Just send your back, let him loop outside with his speed. If you can get him the ball, he's going to be able to get to 2 yards. He got a little bit more than that, and more importantly, a 1st down. Nice pass, set up. He's already in motion. Finally gets knocked out, but he picked up the 1st down.
Luke McCann was there defensively. 1st and 10, Red Rams from the 50. Little misdirection. Kinsey dragging a defender inside the 45 to the 44-yard line. And a penalty flag at the tail end of the play.
That was not a good play.
And it will be a personal foul against Jamesville Dewitt. And the coaching staff does not like it over on the far side of the field. They're talking with the referee, Frank Miserelli.
It looked kind of incidental, like he was just pushing him back. I don't think he took a punch or anything. It was just they had a hold of him, and that's what Coach Brown is saying. He was just trying to get his hands off him. At any rate, the officials are going to say that that was a personal foul, and this is going to be a big play. All right, now the play's over. He's going backwards. They've blown the whistle. That wasn't much of a...
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't know about that one. But at any rate, it will be going back against Jamesville Dewitt.
So momentum, once again, is lost, at least momentarily. JD makes a big play, and as I said, they've made the big ones, and they've turned around and made some bad ones, and that's exactly what happened there. Questionable, perhaps, at least in the fans' minds. You can see over on that side, but nevertheless, you got to play within yourself and not do anything that you think is going to cause you to get a penalty. At any rate, it's now 2nd and 20.
From the JD 41-yard line. Red Rams now with some ground to make up. This is Travis Mason has a hole up the middle across midfield and rambles down to the 47-yard line.
Get them, stick them outside, and run them up inside, and that's exactly what they did. They gave that 212-pounder, the fullback, route up the middle, and that's exactly good blocking. You see that hole open up, and Bassett comes down, gets a block on the safety. And
Nice.
it's, yeah, just going to say now 3rd and about 6.
Nice tackle by Luke McCann. 11 for 60 is Travis Mason on the day. 3rd and a long 6. Option, the pitch to Kinsey. And a big hit by number 6, Derek Richards, that slowed Kinsey right down. And that will set up a 4th down play now.
Good play call now. You got to see what they're going to do. There's the pitch. And watch 6. Watch Richards come up right there. Nice low. Took him down at the ankles. You don't want to take him high because you get knocked backwards. He came down low. Nice tackle. JD going to punt the ball away.
4th down and 4. Kinsey, by the way, is the punter. Justin Hoffman back deep. And Kinsey will boot it. aiming for the sideline.
Nice kick.
Takes a JD
Very
bounce
nice
and
kick.
rolls out inside the 10.
Very nice kick. Still a lot of time left in the third quarter, 1:48. Now JD's defense has got to come up here. Kinsey did his job on the kick. Was a beautiful kick, Beth. The coffin corner variety.
Very nicely done by Adonis Kinsey. Ilion back at their own 6-yard line now with 1:48 to play. Golden Bombers leading the Red Rams 13-6 in this Section 3 Class B championship.
JD needs a big defensive play here. They got him in the hole. Got to make the big play.
Tyner pitching to Berth, and Berth nowhere to go. Kinsey on the stop. Throwing Berth down at the 5.
Great job of defending the option. They covered the quarterback. He made the pitch. They had the pitch man covered. We got Haley's going out against 75 with that ankle. He's been down for a while. But that was the big play, at least one of the big plays. Now you got to hold him down here. You threw him for a yard loss.
2nd down and 11. Ertz to the far side. McCann comes to the near side. Tyner 10 for 15, 127 yards, 2 touchdowns on the day. Passes away, caught by Ertz at the 23.
What a big play that was.
First down, Ilion.
They got Rocco Tyner listed at 5'9", and he looks about 5'7". What a great pass this was. His offensive line gave him time. He puts it right on the button, right up high. Ertz was up in the air. He's had a fantastic day. He's really a big help. 4 for 74, 2 touchdowns.
Tyner to Ertz has been a dazzling combo here today for Ilion. And the handoff to Whedon as Tyner was falling down, and Whedon is stacked up for a loss.
Number 78 for JD, big Pat Whipple on the tackle. A loss. Ilion has come up with the big plays when they needed them. I think they've always been as a result. They get a loss, they get thrown for, and then they come up with a big play, and that Ertz catch is a classic example. JD had him in a hole.
15 seconds to go in the third quarter. 2nd and 11, and a flag on the snap. Clock stopped with 7 seconds to go in the third.
Procedure against Ilion.
So this will set the Golden Bombers back.
Apparent false start, which is why they blew the whistle.
Okay. Dead ball foul, illegal procedure on the offense.
I think somebody picked up a little early.
So what should be the last play here of the third quarter now. 2nd and 16. Tyner pump fake, passes away, incomplete, intended for Ryan Cabral.
Hotailing, the guy who came up with that onside kick, or the kickoff. Nice play there, good tackle, and it remains 13-6. We'll be right back right after this.
Welcome back to the Carrier Dome. 12 minutes of football to determine the Section 3 Class B championship. Right now, the Ilion Golden Bombers leading Jamesville Dewitt 13-6. And it's 3rd down and 16 for Ilion from their own 18-yard line. Tyner looking for Richards down the near sideline, and a collision between Richards and Kelly. No flags down on the play.
Both guys were going for the ball. It was up in the air. No problem there. Good job by Hotailing of putting some pressure on the quarterback. They haven't put a lot of pressure on him, but let's look at the stats, and you're going to see that the Ilion offense has picked up a little bit, 250 yards to 156. Passing yards, however, is 145. Ilion only 11 rushing yards. What you expected from JD. First down, 16-6. You look at the penalties, they have hurt Jamesville DeWitt, Beth.
7 penalties, 44 yards. And the timing of those penalties has not been very good either.
Good point.
Paul Larson on to punt. gets the boot away. It's a good one over Kinsey's head. And Adonis will let it roll, and it takes an Ilion roll inside the 20-yard line.
Great punt.
I think perhaps a bit of a mistake there that Kinsey didn't go ahead and field that.
It was 63 yards on the punt. And yeah, I think he probably should have picked it up. I'm sure he probably does, but that was a great job of getting out of a hole.
There you see Rocco Tyner and Larson now getting a hand from the Ilion crowd as he comes to the sideline.
Larson's had a big day for Ilion also.
1st and 10 Red Rams from their own 19-yard line. Kelly, play action, passes away, and nobody home.
Well, that looked like maybe the back was supposed to go out and then up because that's where the ball was thrown, but some miscommunication between Kelly and whomever the receiver was supposed to be.
I think Kelly expected a zig, and Mike Brown did a zag.
Yeah. It's a long incompletion.
Never the twain shall meet. 2nd and 10. Kelly and the Red Rams, a lot of green in front of them here, trying to put the tying score up on the board from the 19. Kelly will keep it, steps up in the pocket, throws downfield, and incomplete. Closest guy there was Luke Ertz. He's caught everything else tonight.
JD doing a good job there. You know, when you're getting the blitz, they used a play action pass. Actually, it looked like he was going to almost, he ran into the ball, actually. Kinsey hit the ball, but Kelly did a great job of coming under control and getting it back before he threw the pass. But play action pass trying to hold up this pressure defense of Ilion.
So now 3rd down and 10 from the 19.
That quickly, JD's back in a hole.
2 of 8 on 3rd down conversions. Kelly dropping back, rolling to his right, passes deep downfield, and incomplete. Almost picked off by Derek Richards, but we've got a penalty flag down at the 34-yard line.
Maybe Ilion's turn, or to commit a penalty that helps. Let's see what it is. An eligible receiver downfield. And they're looking at Mike Lambert. I don't know where he was lined up, so I can't tell. Obviously, the officials felt that it was an eligible receiver.
So now
that's a loss of down, I think.
The referee talking it over with Ryan Cabral and Corey Cabral. You can see the assistant there for Ilion asking him if it's a loss of down.
Ineligible on the offense is declined.
I guess not then, or you would have taken it and you still would have gotten him, put him back and had him kick, but.
So it will be 4th and 10 now from the 19 for the Red Rams. Adonis Kinsey back to punt.
He got off a beauty the last time. Uh-oh.
High snap to Kinsey. And the punt is blocked. Again, it is Larson. Ball still loose in the end zone, and I believe it is Ilion that recovers it at the 1.
Yes, it is. Amazing.
Guess who? Paul Larson with the block.
Number 22, Paul Larson. I thought he was going to get it off, and Larson appeared, got his arm up. And Whedon on the recovery, but it was Larson who put it away. It looked like a jump ball for a while in the middle of the end zone, and it bounced out of the end zone before Ilion recovered it, but a big break for Ilion. And a bad break for Jamesville Dewitt.
So now a chance for the Golden Bombers to punch it in from the 1. The keeper, Rocco Tyner, touchdown. Tyner on the keeper from 1 yard out, and it's now 19-6 Ilion.
Just a tremendous effort by Ilion defense. We'll look at the PAT first. Haggerty, number 3.
Once again out of Rocco Tyner's hold. The place is down, and the kick is no good.
Hit a photographer.
So the score will stay at 19-6, a huge turn of events for the Ilion Golden Bombers. The block punt and then the touchdown from 1 yard out by Rocco Tyner.
They are, just going to say, they are a big play defense. You know, you look at the stats, JD will end up with probably over 300 yards rushing. You say, how can you lose? But they have come up with some big plays defensively. They get pushed around, and then they make it back, and there's the result of one. Is the Rocco Tyner touchdown, but you're going to see it from ground level. The little guy bursts in on a quarterback sneak, but Larson was the guy who set it all up with the punt block and the big play, as we said. And there's Larson, number 22. Point after touchdown was no good.
Larson, the senior, has had a huge game today. Offensively, defensively, special teams. And setting up Ilion for that last score. They go up 19-6. And now time on Ally for the Golden Bombers. The kick is away to Lambert. From inside the 10, across the 20, and not much further. Lambert mowed down at about the 21.
A nice tackle out by the Bombers. Jason McMahon. 5'5", 171-pounder, down to make the stop on special teams. So once again, Jamesville Dewitt has to try to cover a long area of green, about 79 yards at this point, to get back in this game.
1st and 10 for the Red Rams from their own 22. Kinsey now lining up as a wide out to the left. The pass goes to Adonis on the run across the 30, the 35, and out to the 36-yard line. First down, JD. Pick up a 14 on the play.
You know, it's kind of a microcosm of the game. JD comes back, big play, and then what's happened, they've then shot themselves in the foot with either a penalty or a fumble. Right now, Adonis Kinsey just takes a little swing pass. He just goes up about 3 yards, makes it a forward pass. Great job of getting the first down. Let's see if they can sustain this first down momentum.
From the 36, handoff goes to Mason across the 40 to 45 and out to the 46-yard line. Close to another Red Ram first down.
Great block downfield by 78. Whipple helped clear the way. The big tackle made that hole a little larger. Another first down for James Dewitt. Watch 78 downfield. He's made one block, then he's going to pick up Hoffman and just knocks him right over on his back. Great block and a good run.
There you see Mason over on the JD sideline taking a breather. 1st and 10. Handoff Kinsey to the 49. Wrapped up by Ryan Cabral. That'll set up a 2nd down and 7.
The brothers Cabral have been a big force also. Inside blitzing every play. They send these linebackers. He told me we take some chances, and he's right. They blitz a lot, and it has been effective.
And so far, JD has not been able to burn them with the passing game to loosen things up for the run. Kelly with the eye behind him. The pitch to Kinsey. Kinsey tries to get outside, does, into Ilion territory. Takes a dive down to about the 46.
Dove for that extra yard. They didn't blitz that time. But they had 7 guys in that box there. There's 7 guys within, 3 yards of the line of scrimmage.
So now it'll be 3rd and 3 from the 46-yard line. 9:30 to go in this 4th quarter. 19-6 Ilion. Kelly under center. The pitch to Kinsey, going left, has some room inside the 40, the 35, and down to the 33-yard line. First down, JD. Pick up a 13 on the play.
Once again, it goes into the computer. How do you beat the blitz inside? You get the ball outside as fast as you can. You make that quick pitch. When you got the speed, try to get the corner. That's how they started out. They've gotten away from it, but here it is right here. Kinsey turning the corner, putting the shoulder down, and heading downfield for another first down.
Kinsey stays out there with Mason and Lambert.
Blitz.
Mason right up the middle, and he runs right into Jason Denicola.
You know, every time you run into one guy from Ilion, there's 3 or 4 others right there. Is Rocco Tyner, 5'9", 155. He's had quite a game, too. Watch Denicola, 76. Gets off the block, gets a handful of jersey. Good job by Denicola.
From the 32-yard line now, we'll call it. Second down and 8. Kinsey in motion. Kelly looking deep. Up for grabs. Intercepted. Justin Hoffman picks it off at the 6.
Justin Hoffman fought for that ball. Got in the right position. You see the pass. A lot of air under it, which means it hangs up in the air, and he just came up underneath, fighting number 13, Ian Nelson, for the ball, and up he came with it.
Nelson almost took it away from him, but
Yeah.
Hoffman winning the battle for that one.
Way underthrown, actually, and Nelson did a good job of coming back and trying to get the ball back, but once again, JD gets pretty far down the field, but turns it over.
From the 6, Whedon runs into a wall of defenders.
Now, if you're JD, you got to think, we got to get these 2 scores, because for a while there, all they needed was the touchdown and the extra point, but that blocked punt put them in the position where now, when JD, if they get the ball back, they're going to have to start throwing the ball.
2 quick scores.
Yeah.
Under 8 minutes to play in the game. Second down and 9 for Ilion. From their own 7-yard line. I formation behind Tyner. Again, they go with Whedon. Whedon spinning to the outside across the 10 to about the 13.
Ran very, very hard. Rabideau brought him down finally, but he got a little breathing room up to about the 13-yard line. They've got to get to the, let's see, 15, 16, about the 17-yard line to be safe for a first down. Big stand here for JD defense.
7 minutes to go in the game. Tyner straight drop, looking to throw. Going for Ertz, who makes the catch at the 21-yard line. And that's enough for a Golden Bomber first down.
Ertz open, they blitzed Wolfhanger on the blitz, but they're not able to get in on Tyner. Tyner takes a couple steps to his left and then just finds Ertz. Ertz did a nice job because the ball was actually thrown behind him. He reaches back as he's guarded by Kinsey. He reached back and made the grab for the first down.
First and 10, Ilion from the 22. And now they can afford to work a little clock as well. The pitch to Whedon, running right. Cuts back across the grain.
Fumble? Nope.
Out across the 25 to the 26. Wrapped up by Nick Bassett. Clock continues to roll, 6:15 to play.
Thought I saw the ball pop out there. It didn't. JD wishes it did. They need a turnover or something big, Beth.
Got to start looking for the turnover now with
Right.
6 minutes to go.
Right.
Second and 6 after the 4-yard pickup for Whedon.
Right up the middle. They're going to be
So about the
short.
28, 29-yard line.
going to leave him about almost 4 yards. Long three, short of a first down.
That was Ryan Cabral on the carry, stopped by Tony Brown. Under 5.5 to go. Ilion, the number 1 seed, leading the number 2 seed, Jamesville Dewitt, 19-6. 3rd down and 3 now for the Golden Bombers. Pressure coming from behind. Balls stripped loose. And Ilion takes it. Pete Short back at the 9-yard line. Well, there was an opportunity for the Red Rams.
Tony Brown, 44, just strips right there. Brings his hands down, does a great job of stripping the ball away from Tyner. And then, fortunately for Ilion, one of their men fell on it, so they'll be able to regroup.
Tony Brown, the senior, coming up with the big defensive play. We've got a timeout on the field right now. And a 4th down situation, 4th and 23 coming up for Ilion from their own 9-yard line.
It was actually a big fumble recovery for Ilion, because had they lost it, obviously it would have given JD a chance to get one of those scores rather easily, because the ball's inside the 10. As it is, I think JD's going to have to come after this punt. The last time they got a great punt, remember, Kinsey couldn't field it, and it was, what, 63 yards, I believe.
And it's been Larson who's been doing the punting.
Yep. A lot of heroes for Ilion so far. Ertz and Tyner, and obviously number 22, Larson.
So Larson is out there on 4th down. He will be punting from his own end zone.
And obviously what you want to do here, if you have any trouble mishandling the ball, take the safety. Don't give up the touchdown.
Kinsey and Lambert back to receive. Snap is low. Kick is away. And down at the 40-yard line. There was a collision in the end zone, so I'm assuming the Red Rams did get a piece of that one, because they ran into Larson.
You know, actually, I think he kicked it low, right between them, about waist high, just before the collision. So at least that's the way I saw it. At any rate, he did get the ball off, but JD put great pressure on him and is going to get good field position. Here's a look. Yeah, it looked like he just got it end over end.
Yep.
It was Wolfanger helping to put the pressure on.
So now 1st and 10 Red Rams. The pass quickly to Lambert, incomplete. Kelly looking for Lambert. 4:49 to go in the game. JD trailing Ilion 19-6. Ilion trying to secure the Section 3 Class B championship.
But you know, coming in, people, as I said at the top of the show, people in the know supposedly say, well, JD bigger and faster, you know, time will tell. It hasn't, at least at this point. Ilion has played exceptional football game.
Kelly back to throw. And the pass is caught inside the 30, the 25-yard line. Wes Wilbur out of the backfield.
And got out of bounds to stop the clock. At this time, it's still important. 4:41 left.
There's the play to Wilbur.
One of those little short passes, gets a stiff arm and manages to get out of bounds as he drags Luke McCann with him over the sideline. And Ilion's going to take a timeout, Beth.
17 yards on the pickup to Wes Wilbur. And Ilion calls the timeout with 4:41 to play. Ilion has won 5 in a row. There are 2 losses on the season, to overtime, in overtime to Beaver River and to Herkimer. And since then, they have rolled with wins over Holland Patton, Oneida, Chittenango, Salve, and then Jordan Elbridge. A shutout in the semis. They've won 5 straight. And right now, trying to knock off Jamesville Dewitt. The Red Rams came in ranked 11th in New York State in Class B. Ilion unranked.
There's Rocco Tyner, 5'9", 155, and I They're giving him a couple inches in the height department, I think. Tough guy has done an excellent job at quarterback. Converted to quarterback. Now he's a corner defensively. Let's see what JD comes up with.
1st and 10. Kelly, the handoff to Mason up the gut. And he's close to the 15-yard line. Pickup of about 8 on the carry. Saw just a moment ago over 300 yards of total offense for the Red Rams. Kelly 10 of 16 for 105 yards on the day. And it will be 2nd down and 2, 4:15 to go. And motion
Tackle,
up front.
Yep. Left tackle came out of his stance a little early.
So the penalty will go against the Red Rams. Clock stops with 4:12 to play.
If you look at, if you're JD and you start looking at these stats.
Dead ball foul, illegal procedure on the offense.
And you start looking at the stats, you get the idea that penalties and turnovers, and this is going to be big number 78, Whipple, is going to come up out of that stance. You see him right there? There was the movement, and that is the type of thing that's put him in tough positions.
2nd down and 7. 8 penalties for 49 yards for the Red Rams. Kelly back to pass, and incomplete, intended for Lambert. It's been those penalties, also the fumbles in the first half, and then the special teams miscue that allowed Larson to block the punt.
Right.
That have hurt the Red Rams today. Not to mention a very solid Ilion defense, and as you've been mentioning, Dale, they've come up with the big plays.
Yep, it's a big play defense, and it certainly was today, and they have blitzed from the opening gun, and they continue to blitz.
4 turnovers for JD, 2 for Ilion on the day.
Well,
3rd and 7, Kelly, shovel pass, Lambert fumbles it. Ball loose on the carpet, but it'll be incomplete pass on the shovel pass.
Good point. Right as we talked about them blitzing, they've taken the blitz off, and I think they're playing their version of the prevent, which is keeping your linebackers at home, I guess.
Stop blitzing,
Don't blitz, just play regular.
So now 4th down and 7 with 3:51 to play as we take another look.
There's the little shovel and then dropped.
And the Ilion fans come to their feet on 4th down. They've got to get down inside the 13 for the 1st down. Kelly back to throw. Passes away, incomplete. And the Golden Bombers will take over on down.
Intended for Wes Wilbur. They used the play before. It worked. It didn't work this time. And JD is going to have to turn it over. Watch Wilbur just a little bit over his head and a little bit behind. He couldn't come up with the grab. Would have been a 1st down, but it isn't. It's going to be turned over to Ilion, and they have just played a great football game.
They have indeed, and they will continue to play as they will advance to the state tournament if they can hold on for the next 3 minutes and 46 seconds. Rocco Tyner, 12 of 19, 154 and 2 touchdowns, and Tyner on the keeper out across the 25.
Tyner takes it himself. This is great. Here's a kid that was, a split end, and your main quarterback, Lipinski, got hurt, and they say, all right, now you're the quarterback and come in. I mean, there are not many places, any schools that you can do that and be that effective. You can get somebody in there, but this kid's been a real spark plug. He's done a great job for him, and got to be one of the real keys for their offense.
Tyner now watching the clock. He will let the play clock wind all the way down.
Yep.
Before he'll take the snap. Handoff is to Whedon. Whedon gets to the outside looking for some room across the 30.
Stretching for the 1st. Let's see what kind of a spot he gets. He was really, you see him stretching that body out, in Whedon, although not a lot of yards today, if he comes up with a 1st down, that's a big play.
And he does have it.
Good spot, and he is going to come up with a 1st down. And Whedon, who came in with over 1,200 yards, takes a back seat to the passing game a little bit today, but comes up with a very important 1st down, stretching out, and gives them a little more time to run some time.
Under 3 minutes now to go in this Section 3 Class B final.
And yeah, Rocco Tyner, he can see the clock. It's in this Carrier Dome. It's to his right down in front of his vision to the left. And he's going to take all the time that he's allotted.
Just letting that thing wind down. Under 8 seconds now before he's got a snap. And on the keeper up the middle, has some room across the 40, the 50, Tyner on the run, and dragged down at the 33-yard line by Wolfhanger.
Trying to run some time off the clock, and he ran some yardage right into the record books here, as he's going to come up with a great clock killer and just a great one. Watch the move he makes on Kinsey right there. And then he starts heading for the outside, then goes back to the inside. And Wolfhanger, good effort by Wolfhanger. Fouled him all the way down, but you know, he's got to be frustrated. He came in a real key. He's played a tough game for Jamesville Dewitt. They have not been able to stop Ilion when they had to.
Clock running now, under 2:15 to play. Tyner hands it off to Cabral. Straight up the chute. Picked up maybe 1 on the play. Stopped by Wes Wilbur. And under 2 minutes now to go. Ilion counting down the seconds to the Section 3 championship.
They haven't made the big turnovers. The penalties haven't been bad. JD's been a little bit snake bit by penalties. Ilion has just played an excellent football game all around.
It's a team that started out 2-2 on the season. They've won 5 in a row to get to this point. Tyner sacked. Back at the 41, Wilbur was there.
Stop the clock. Are they going to take a timeout? JD.
As we take another look at Wilbur dragging down Rocco Tyner.
Right.
Wes Wilbur, 6'2", 185-pound junior.
It's nice to see the kids turning around from Ilion, and they're on our sideline, and all the parents and the fans and their classmates have stood and are cheering for them. And what a well-deserved round of applause for these kids from Ilion. They have done just a great job.
And we want to give a nice little applause, too, to all the folks behind the scenes here for Time Warner Sports. We've done a terrific job throughout this high school football season. We've had some terrific shots from our photographers placed around the dome, and also to Joe Insel, our stat man up here in the booth. Took some time off from SUNY Morrisville to join us today, which is a good opportunity to mention that SUNY Morrisville will have football.
Yeah, a lot of junior
next
colleges.
year.
Yeah, a lot of junior colleges in Central New York picking up the sport. So that's good to hear, because you're going to see some of these kids, I'm sure, from both of these teams playing football around Central New York when it comes to college.
Ilion breaking out the Macarena now as we approach the 1 minute mark. Tyner dancing his way down to the 31-yard line. And now 4th down coming up. And it will be Paul Larson who will come on to punt it.
And they will take, they might even take an extra 5-yard penalty here.
Yeah.
I don't know what.
Larson's actually on as another receiver, as
right.
lining up as a tight end. So they will go for it on 4th and 8.
Good play.
A handoff. Berth had his legs cut out from underneath him by Wolfhanger, who has not given up.
No, Wolfhanger's still playing 100%. Watch Wolfhanger, linebacker, nice tackle.
Nice hand for the Ilion offense as they come to the near sideline. As the Golden Bombers put the finishing touches on a Section 3 championship with 33 seconds to play here in the 4th quarter. 19-6, the Golden Bombers on top.
Might mention while we have a chance, JD loaded with juniors. A good chance they'll be back again next year.
Larson Bearing down on Kelly, who gets the pass away to Adonis Kinsey. Kinsey still on his feet, out across the 40. First down, JD.
Adonis Kinsey, he's a good football player, boy. This whole JD offense, this rushing offense, they've had good blocking. They've been able to run the ball from the 20 to the 20, but they haven't been able to consistently push it in. They had some problems today, but this is a good football team, and they will be back. Kinsey, a junior, Kelly, a junior, Mike Lambert, a junior. Also, Kirk Wolfanger, they'll all be back next year, but the moment belonging to the Ilion Golden Bombers, the 1996 Section 3 Class B champions. And I'm sure they won't mind waiting one more second for that designation. 1 second on the clock. A triumphant trip to the Carrier Dome for Ilion. They brought a great number of fans, as did JD. Lots of people here for this exciting high school football action from the Carrier Dome. Terrific afternoon and evening for football here at the Carrier Dome, and the final play of this Section 3 Class B championship. Kelly heaves one downfield, knocked away by Ertz, and that will do it. The Ilion Golden Bombers defeat JD 19-6 to capture the Section 3 Class B title. And we'll be back to talk with our Time Warner Player of the Game, as well as victorious head coach Bob Turley, when we return to the Dome.